Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Practicing My Way Back. I had a really interesting conversation today with my friend Mike Whitehead. I think we were talking about different forms of artistry and teaching and things like that, and he said a really compelling thing, and that was when he's listening to something, sometimes he's looking to give himself permission to do that. So absorb that for just a second. Listening to a piece of music to give himself permission to do that. It's an amazing affirmation, I think. And that's what I've been thinking about pretty much ever since, giving yourself permission. And I realized that that idea, that affirmation is really what's helped propel me through this experience of recovering. And I think it's something that's in the air. I was just talking to another friend, Mark Kelly, about that. And he's actually working on an art piece about affirmation. So giving yourself permission, and let me relate this to directly what I'm doing. On the one hand, I have this book of Chopin preludes that I've been slowly working through. One of the keys to that has been to just treat them as exercises, right? Giving myself permission to just play through them at whatever speed I have and to get whatever I can out of them. That's huge. That's a big piece. Not thinking about them in terms of, well, it has to be at this tempo and it has to be this volume and it has to be this sort of thing, but really giving myself permission to be where I am, accepting that, and just moving on from it. That's a big piece of practicing. Sometimes it's good to practice like that. Obviously, if you're trying to learn a piece and you're going to perform it, your target goal is going to be to work it to the tempo that it needs to be, the spirit that it needs to be in. But that doesn't preclude the idea of seeing what else is there. Another friend of mine I was speaking with the other night, John, he was saying that he really likes just poking through any piece of Bach's in whatever way he can, because it's such great music. It doesn't matter really what tempo you play it at, there's still really great stuff to be caught there. So that's one way, giving yourself permission, saying, taking that expectation like, oh, I have to play it this way or that way, just ratchet that back. You can work towards that, at whatever point, but I think we lose sight of the other side of this equation. The other way, I think, for me, giving myself permission has been important. Is I've been tossing around an idea, and I don't think I'm going to do it, which is a good thing. I have to apologize to Tommy Lynch because I told him already I was going to do it, but I'm not going to do it. So don't worry about it. There's a saxophonist, a very famous saxophonist by the name of Sonny Rollins, who famously walked away from performing for, I think it was a year or something like that, because he wasn't really happy with his playing. He didn't feel like he was getting enough out of it, so he said, I'm going to go practice for a year and I'm not going to play out until I do it again. I thought about pulling with Sonny Rollins. I thought, I'm in this period of reconstructing technique, reconstructing my approach to the instrument. What a great time to just say, the heck with it all. I'm going to just walk away and I'm going to go do it. And I thought about that and I said, oh, that's kind of an interesting idea. But it's almost a more interesting idea to me to give myself permission to carry that practice, that reconstruction, that re-exploration practice in a performance environment. That's almost a more interesting idea to me. And it was funny because I was on the brink of sort of making one of these black and white choices. It has to be either or. And Mike, in this conversation, reminded me today that it's not. He said, yeah, you can do it. If it doesn't work, don't do it. That's another way of giving yourself permission. Permission to experiment with something. So I feel like by withdrawing, at this point anyway, withdrawing myself from performing out would probably be a mistake. It would be not giving myself permission. Whereas this other way is much more affirmative to me. So that's what I'm going to do. So that's what I got. Kudos to me for getting the video out on Wednesday, like I said I would. And kudos to you for being there and hanging out with me. We will see you next week. In the meantime, work hard, have fun, and we'll see you.